Welcome to Senior Health and Happiness, where we believe that aging can be graceful, strong, and joyful. Let's take care of your health, one simple habit at a time. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there? Or found yourself searching for a word that used to come so easily? These little memory slips are common, and for many people over 60, they bring up a quiet fear. What if this is the start of something more serious, like Alzheimer's? That fear is real. But here's the truth I want you to hold on to. Today, while we can't control everything about aging, we can take small, meaningful steps every day to protect our brain. And that's exactly what this video is about. Over the next few minutes, we're going to explore daily routines that support your memory, your focus, and your overall brain health habits that are easy to start, backed by science, and fit into the life you're already living. These are not miracle cures. They're small acts of care that add up to long-term protection. And I encourage you, watch until the end, because the last section might surprise you. It's about something we don't often associate with memory, but it plays a powerful role in protecting your mind. Let's begin where every good day starts, in the morning. 1. Start your morning with brain fuel. Mornings are powerful. They set the tone for your entire day. And when it comes to protecting your brain, what you do in that first hour after waking can make a remarkable difference over time. Let's begin with food, not just any breakfast, but one that truly supports brain function. Your brain runs on glucose, but not all sources of energy are equal. Instead of sugary cereals or heavy pastries, aim for a breakfast rich in omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, antioxidants, and lean protein. For example, oatmeal topped with walnuts and blueberries is a fantastic choice. It's simple, comforting, and filled with brain-boosting nutrients. Or try an egg with whole grain toast and a handful of spinach, a savory option with plenty of power. Next, don't forget hydration. Even mild dehydration can affect memory and concentration. After hours of sleep, your brain needs fluid to function well. Begin your day with a full glass of water. It may seem small, but it's a powerful signal to your body and your mind. I'm awake. I'm taking care of myself. Now, let's talk about something you may not expect. Morning sunlight. Exposure to natural light in the morning helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which controls not only your sleep-wake cycle but also supports memory consolidation and cognitive function. Step outside for just 10 to 15 minutes. Water your plants, stretch on the porch, or take a slow walk to the mailbox. You'll get light, fresh air, and a gentle movement boost all at once. All of this might sound lovely in theory, but I want to bring it to life with an example. Let me tell you about Jim, a retired librarian from Ohio. Jim used to start his mornings with coffee and the television, but after his wife passed, he noticed he was feeling more forgetful and, honestly, more disconnected. So, with the help of his daughter, he made a few changes. Now, he wakes up, drinks a glass of water, makes a small breakfast, scrambled eggs with avocado toast, and reads one poem out loud while sitting by the window. Just 10 minutes, that's it. But he told me, it makes me feel sharper, like I'm anchoring myself before the day starts. That's the power of morning routines. You don't need perfection. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to be consistent. Because the brain loves rhythm. And when your morning starts with purpose, your mind responds with clarity. In the next section, we'll move beyond breakfast and into your body. Because movement, even gentle movement, can spark something incredible in your brain. 2. Move your body. Activate your brain. Let's continue our journey toward a healthier brain, not just with what we eat or drink, but with how we move. Movement isn't just good for your heart and muscles. It's one of the most powerful tools we have to support brain health, especially as we age. When you move your body, you increase blood flow, not just to your arms and legs, but to your brain. And that flow brings oxygen and nutrients to the parts of your mind responsible for memory, focus, and learning. But here's the beautiful part. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights to get these benefits. In fact, the kind of movement that helps your brain most is gentle, consistent, and joyful. Let's talk about walking. It may sound simple, and that's the point. A 20-minute walk each day has been shown to improve memory, reduce the risk of cognitive decline, and boost mood. And when you walk outdoors, you're also getting sunlight, fresh air, and sensory stimulation, all of which are deeply healing for the mind. Can't walk far? That's okay. Start where you are. Even walking around your home a few times each hour or pacing lightly while on the phone can make a difference. Another wonderful option is Tai Chi, often called meditation in motion. This ancient practice uses slow, flowing movements to improve balance, coordination, and mental focus. Many seniors find that Tai Chi not only strengthens their bodies, but brings peace to their minds. It's graceful, gentle on the joints, and surprisingly powerful in reducing the risk of dementia. Stretching is another form of movement that's often overlooked but equally important. When you stretch, you release tension, improve circulation, and reconnect with your body. Something as simple as reaching overhead, rolling your shoulders, or twisting gently from side to side can activate your brain's sensory system. It reminds you, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm connected. What's most important is that you find a rhythm that works for you. Some people love morning walks. Others prefer dancing around the kitchen while making lunch. Some enjoy structured classes, while others move during daily chores. There's no wrong way to move. The only mistake is staying still too long. If forming a habit feels hard, you're not alone. Try attaching movement to something you already do. For example, every time you make tea, do a few shoulder rolls while the water boils, or do 3 minutes of gentle knee lifts during a commercial break on TV. Small moments add up. Let me tell you about Linda, a 68-year-old who was recently diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment. She told me, I can't handle big gym routines, but I started dancing to one song a day after breakfast. One song, 3 minutes. That was her promise to herself. A year later, not only did her memory stabilize, but she said she felt lighter in her mind and more joyful overall. Movement doesn't just shape the body, it lights up the brain. It tells your nervous system, I'm engaged, I'm alive, I'm still learning. So whether it's a walk, a stretch, a slow dance, or a flow of Tai Chi, make movement a daily gift to your brain. It doesn't need to be big, it just needs to be yours. Next, we'll explore another powerful brain protector, one that's not physical at all, but deeply human, the connections we build with others. 3. Stay social, stay sharp. We've talked about food and movement, two powerful tools for protecting your brain, but there's another one that's just as important and often overlooked. It doesn't come in a bottle or require special equipment. In fact, it begins with something as simple as saying hello. Human connection. Staying socially engaged is one of the most powerful things you can do to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's and other forms of cognitive decline. We are wired for connection. Our brains are built not just to think, but to relate. And when we talk, laugh, listen, and share time with others, we activate parts of the brain that memory games alone just can't reach. Let me be clear, being social doesn't mean you have to attend big events or join large gatherings. For many people, especially as we get older, those situations can feel overwhelming. What matters more is regular, meaningful interaction, even if it's just with 1 or 2 people at a time. A phone call to an old friend, a short chat with a neighbor while watering the plants, a weekly lunch with a walking group. These small connections create a rhythm, a kind of emotional heartbeat that keeps your mind engaged and your mood lifted. And science backs this up. Studies show that seniors who maintain strong social ties are less likely to develop dementia. Social interaction not only keeps your vocabulary and memory sharp, it also reduces loneliness, a known risk factor for cognitive decline. If you're not sure where to begin, start small. Choose one social habit to add this week. Maybe it's calling a grandchild every Tuesday, or writing a short note to someone you haven't seen in a while, or visiting your local library and striking up a conversation with the person at the front desk. Some people find fulfillment in volunteering. Helping others not only gives you purpose, it also puts you in regular contact with other people. Whether it's serving at a community kitchen, helping in a church group, or mentoring a young student online, these moments keep your brain flexible and your heart full. Let me share a story that always moves me. There's a man named Arthur, 74 years old, who lives in a quiet suburb. After his wife passed, he stopped going out, stopped calling friends, and slowly, his days became very quiet. His daughter noticed he was becoming more forgetful and more withdrawn. One day, she signed him up for a men's coffee hour at the community center. He was hesitant at first, but he went. They talked about music, baseball, and gardening. Nothing deep, but something changed. Arthur started looking forward to those weekly chats. His daughter later told me, he laughs again, he remembers stories again, and he told me last week, I feel like I've come back to life. That's the power of connection. So I invite you, gently, without pressure, to reach out. Just one step, one conversation, one visit. Because when you connect with others, you give your brain what it truly craves: stimulation, emotion, and meaning. And the best part, these moments don't just protect your memory, they enrich your life. In the next section, we'll go a little deeper into the brain's inner workings and explore how to keep it sharp, with small mental challenges that are both fun and effective. For challenge your mind gently and often. Let's continue our journey by turning inward into the world of thought, memory, and imagination. Because just like the body, the brain thrives when we give it something to explore. Your brain is not a fixed organ, it's dynamic. It rewires itself through a process called neuroplasticity, which means it can form new connections even in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. But for that to happen, we have to give it something new to do. And that's where gentle mental challenges come in. You don't need to memorize long poems or study a new language to keep your brain sharp, although if you enjoy that, go for it. What matters most is engaging with novelty. Doing something just a little outside your routine. Stretching your mind in ways that feel doable and interesting. Let's start with the classics. Puzzles, crosswords, Sudoku. These are excellent ways to keep the brain active. They challenge logic, pattern recognition, vocabulary, all parts of the brain that support memory and reasoning. But cognitive stimulation can go far beyond that. Try reading a book from a genre you usually avoid. If you love mysteries, try a biography. If you usually read fiction, try a book on science or travel. Reading exercises your comprehension, focus, and even imagination, all of which are important for long-term brain health. Another powerful tool is learning something new, no matter how small. It could be a new recipe, a few words in another language, a simple craft, or even the name of a flower in your garden. Every time your brain processes unfamiliar information, it has to work, and that's a good thing. Let me give you a real-life example. Nancy, a 70-year-old former school teacher, began painting during retirement, not because she was especially artistic, but because she had never done it before. She told me, "Every time I pick up a brush, I feel like my brain wakes up. It's like I'm learning how to see all over again." And the best part, she now hosts a weekly painting group in her garage, combining cognitive stimulation with social connection, a double win. To make this even easier, I recommend starting a weekly brain challenge. Each week, pick one small new activity. Learn a new word and use it in a sentence. Try writing a short letter or journal entry by hand. Rearrange a few things in your kitchen to make your brain notice the difference. Watch a documentary and share what you learned with a friend. These aren't big tasks, but they invite your brain to wake up, to play, to grow. The key is consistency, not intensity. It's not about how long you spend. It's about showing up. 5 minutes a day of brain engagement is better than an hour once a month. Your brain loves steady stimulation, not overwhelm. And here's the most important thing: enjoy it. We remember best when we're emotionally engaged, when something feels rewarding. So choose brain activities that bring you even a small spark of joy or curiosity. That joy is what makes the neural pathways stick. So ask yourself, what's something new I can try this week? Not to impress anyone, not to check a box, but simply to feed the most important organ in your body, your mind. Next, we'll explore two quiet but powerful allies in brain health: sleep and stress. You may be surprised by just how much they affect your memory and mental clarity. 5. Sleep and stress, the silent protectors. We often think of brain health in terms of what we do, what we eat, how we move, the puzzles we solve. But there are two quiet forces working in the background that can either strengthen or weaken our memory over time. Those are sleep and stress. Let's begin with sleep, the great reset button for the brain. When you sleep, your brain isn't shutting down, it's doing essential work. It clears out toxins, consolidates memories, and restores mental clarity. In fact, poor sleep is one of the earliest and most common warning signs in people at risk for Alzheimer's disease. For older adults, getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night is one of the most important and often overlooked tools for maintaining mental sharpness. But as we age, sleep can become more difficult. You may find yourself waking up frequently, having trouble falling asleep, or feeling less rested in the morning. So what can we do? It starts with a consistent sleep routine. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, helps regulate your internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm. This rhythm plays a key role in memory, mood, and focus. In the hour before bed, begin to wind down. Turn off bright lights. Avoid screens when possible. Swap the TV for soft music or a book. Try sipping a warm, non-caffeinated drink like chamomile tea. These small signals tell your brain it's time to rest. Now, let's talk about stress. You may not think of stress as a memory issue, but long-term stress, even the kind we learn to live with, can change the brain's structure. It shrinks the hippocampus, the part responsible for forming new memories. It floods the body with cortisol, which interferes with focus and recall. The truth is, life doesn't get simpler with age. There may be medical appointments, financial concerns, caregiving responsibilities, or the quiet ache of loneliness. These are real burdens, and pretending they don't exist doesn't help. What does help is creating small moments of calm within your day. That might mean starting the morning with 5 minutes of deep breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold, exhale gently through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop, let your mind rest. Or perhaps you enjoy prayer, or a quiet walk around your block, or writing your thoughts in a journal. These are not just relaxing rituals. They are brain protective practices. They slow the stress response. They give your nervous system space to recover. Let me share a story. Eleanor, 76, had always been active, volunteering, baking, helping her grandchildren. But after her husband passed, she couldn't sleep. Her mind would race every night, and she began forgetting appointments, losing things, and feeling anxious. Her doctor encouraged her to create a nighttime routine, so she started something simple. Each night, she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for. Then she sat by the window for 5 minutes. No phone, no lights, just the sound of the night. Within weeks, she began sleeping more deeply, and in time, her memory improved, along with her energy. It wasn't a pill. It wasn't a program. It was peace. So tonight, I invite you to build your own gentle ritual: a bath, a few quiet stretches, a phone call with someone you love, something that tells your body you are safe. You can let go, because when you give your brain the gift of rest and the grace of peace, you protect its power far more than you may realize. In our final section, we'll tie it all together and remind ourselves that preventing Alzheimer's isn't about fear. It's about building a life full of hope, purpose, and small daily victories. As we close today's session, I want you to take a moment to reflect, not on everything you have to change, but on everything you've already done just by being here. You showed up, you listened, you learned, and that alone is a powerful act of self-care. Preventing Alzheimer's or slowing cognitive decline is not about chasing miracles. It's about creating a daily rhythm of choices that protect your mind, one gentle step at a time. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to be perfect. What you need is consistency, kindness toward yourself, and the willingness to keep showing up, even on the days when it feels hard. Think back on what we talked about today. You can start your morning with purpose by choosing foods that fuel your brain, staying hydrated, and letting a little sunlight kiss your face. That's not just a morning routine, that's brain support. You can move your body in ways that feel good and natural, whether it's a short walk, a Tai Chi flow, or dancing while doing the dishes. Movement wakes up your brain and keeps your nervous system strong. You can stay connected, not through big events, but through small, meaningful interactions. A chat with a neighbor, a call to a friend, joining a group that brings you joy. These are not just social moments. They are brain-boosting medicine. You can challenge your mind in ways that feel fun, not forced. A puzzle, a new hobby, a book that makes you think they all count. Your brain loves to learn, no matter your age. And you can make space for rest, not just sleep, but calm. A few moments of quiet breathing, a steady bedtime, a routine that says, I deserve peace, because you do. And through it all, remember this: you are not powerless. Every small habit, done with intention and love, is a powerful act of prevention. You are not waiting for memory loss to come. You are building a lifestyle that nourishes your brain and honors your life. Aging does bring change, that's true. But it can also bring clarity, wisdom, and purpose. And the way we live day by day shapes how we age. So, as you go into tomorrow, ask yourself, What's one small thing I can do today that my future self will thank me for? Maybe it's taking a short walk, calling a friend, drinking more water, or simply sitting in stillness and breathing. That's where brain health begins, in the quiet, steady choices you make for yourself, and you are more than capable of making them. Thank you for spending your time with Senior Health and Happiness. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and most of all, stay kind to yourself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone you care about. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one small habit you're adding to your daily routine? Your story might inspire someone else.